welcome to, I don't know what, the whole YouTube and Facebook page is going to change again. Right now it's standing at DC Fans Unite, but then we find out that there's hundreds of groups and pages or whatever like that with a similar name. So I thought to myself, we need to change the name because it was originally Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope, and we feel like we're coming to an end of an era now. Man of Steel was out years ago. People sometimes get mixed up in why it was called that. And we thought Justice League is the start of something new. So the page has got to assemble that as well. So I had all this stuff in my head earlier on today, and I thought that would make a good talking point. And now that I sit down and it just goes out the window. It just totally leaves my head. And I thought I've got to start talking, and maybe whatever I thought about before would come back and stuff. So right now I hear the Justice League is in Brazil just now. They've had to open some more cinemas because people are loving Justice League over there. And it's became the number one film, and then somebody posted another article, Argentina maybe or something like that. It's another place anyway. They've it's came number one there. So that is pretty awesome, and it's funny, that's a good thing about fan bases, is it brings people together, unites them. We can talk about religion, you can talk about books or whatever, and whatever brings the world that much closer and brings people to, I think if you wore a Superman t-shirt or a Batman t-shirt anywhere in the world, they will, they'll connect with you. And that's what's great about these things. And that is why it's good that, like characters like Superman doesn't say truth, justice, and the American way, because right now, with the way things are going in America, it's not really a good way, so to speak. With building walls and stuff like that, and immigrants and all that sort of stuff. It's not good that way. So it should represent the world, because you have writers and artists from all over the world that contribute to the storytelling now. And so, if one nation doesn't like it, and doesn't like a story, but another nation or another part of the world love it, then it begs the question, how do you satisfy everybody? How do you make everybody love the same thing? And that's exactly, the stuff that came about with Zack Snyder's Superman. When the Man of Steel came out, not everybody loved it. And what we've been hearing now is Warner Brothers weren't too sure about it, and wasn't very supportive. But here's the thing, and you can find it easily on YouTube. I'll probably put a wee link here to it. I'll be uploading it to my page. Zack Snyder talks about Man of Steel, and within a couple of minutes of this video, he talks about and must remember, this is Man of Steel. This was way before BVS was even considered. He talks about how Christopher Nolan supported him. He was like the producer. And now, recently, still on the same subject, recently I read an article about Margot Robbie, and there's talks about 4 Harley Quinn movies on the go and stuff. But she was talking about this film that she's producing. I don't know if it was directing, but she was talking about what the role of the producer is, and she says stuff that backs up what Zack Snyder says. And what Zack Snyder says is Christopher Nolan backed his vision to the hilt, backed it right up there, kept the dogs from the door, because Warner Brothers was itching to get in there and do stuff. And Margot Robbie also states that that's what a producer's role is to see what the director's vision is and to support it and help make that director's vision come about. And he stands, the producer stands with the director and protects him in a certain way and helps fulfill that director's vision. And no matter what anybody thinks, the producer's right there supporting them. So that's probably a good pitch where your wife is sometimes your producer as well. So we got that with Margot Robbie talking about that, producing, Christopher Nolan protecting him, and then we get on to BVS where he goes it alone, and then executives come in to Warner Brothers without that sort of Christopher Nolan protection racket, and then does stuff with the film, changes it, but manages to get an extended cut finalised deal, finish it. So he finished all the shots for the extended cut. The Justice League film comes out, and again they attack it and they want it to be this financial success, mainly because the top Chinese guy, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name, Cherry Kiwaka or whatever his name is, sounds a bit racist, I know, but I don't even waste my time even trying to pronounce this guy. I don't even know if he's Chinese, he could be Japanese or whatever, I just don't know his origin. I'm not interested, I don't want to sound racist or whatever. I just look at him, he's got a foreign name, and it's all I need to know. Okay, it doesn't matter what bit of the planet he's from, he could be from Scotland, he could be from England, if he's wouldn't even bother trying to say his name, or whatever it is. I've got no time. And because he's a bully, he's came down and he's tried to fill his pockets, and it was the producer's role to make this vision come about. Now, slightly coming down, push that to the side. I was in the supermarkets today, and it's surprising. It is surprising. It doesn't help, mind you, when you run a page. And I'm still feeling a bit hurt over the Justice League. Not because I didn't like it, as you know, I did enjoy the movie and I made films from about it and how I enjoyed it. But it's hurt, and I read comments on my page, and I can see some of their points. I can feel where they're coming from. I mean, one person's commented as. And some people will think this is sad, okay? But as I said before, there's a lot of things in life today that you look forward to, and enough to make this world seem a better place. You give yourself these things. Not everyone can go on fancy holidays. Not everyone can travel the world and have a perfect job. So you give yourself wee aims to go for. And I think I just posted something on the page recently, and I'm dying to get the full story from him. And he's went on this incredible journey, probably travelled for miles and hardships in order just to see the Justice League film, and he totally loved it. And he's probably went on, by what I've been hearing, he's went on some incredible journey to get there. And if I find out any more, I've sent him a message, and I've asked him to get back to me, and he just give me the thumbs up. So I don't know if I'm going to get the whole story. Anyway, so this I've seen some comments saying, right, what do I look forward to now? What is there left in my life and everything else? And I think to myself, I used to feel, I don't know what I used to, I still do. It's crazy how your mind works. when Star Wars came out, and there's another example of the producers and studios get involved with George Lucas, or the Wiki needs wearing pants, and there should be credits at the start of the film, and they wanted to change it and stuff. And it's people like George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, and stuff like that that became the company. They don't have to answer to executives and CEOs. They can make their films their way without all that hassle. And maybe that was an idea what DC should have went to, and asked them, could we make this film without, the hassle that we're getting from Warner Brothers. And maybe if DC became big enough in the company of themselves to finance it themselves. After all, Netflix somehow is making, financing movies themselves. Anyway, drifting off the subject. So where was I? So anyway, and so this person, he didn't know what else to look forward to. And I can empathise with him, because I'd been looking forward to Justice League for a long time. For as long since I was a kid, since I first thought, that it could happen. Like Avengers, I thought, oh, maybe there's a chance Justice League will get done. And for years and years, you start building up hope and wonder and amazement, and then you start having pictures of it and stuff. And you're saying to yourself, oh, what, Justice League, it will blow the world away, it will be brilliant, people will see my heroes and everything else. And then when it comes out, and you see it, and then it's not as important as you seen it, but for everybody else to see it, and for everybody else to say what a great thing it is, and wear your t-shirts with pride and everything else. And then the critics' review comes out, and then it's it tugs you at your heart. So I was walking through the shops earlier today, and I'm thinking, and it's sad, it's sad, because there's much other things in life, but it's one of these things where, it doesn't hurt anybody, your ambition. It doesn't impact on anything that's true in your life. But it's just one of these things that you sort of regret, and you wish that life was different. And I see the comments. And people saying, what is it wrong for me to feel sorry that it didn't make this amount of money, and for the critics to hate it so much and stuff like that. And then I see people who love the film, who like the film and defending it, and suddenly they're coming out reading all this stuff about the Zack Snyder cut and stuff, and they're now getting angry because it was cut out. And I says to them, why are you always posting these things? Because you're belittling what you've originally felt when you first time you seen it. I cannot wait now till I get it on DVD, where for that 2-hour movie I can just enjoy seeing my heroes without fear of going into a cinema and wondering, oh, I want all the seats to be taken up. I want people to come and join me. It's like the big Star Wars convention or whatever. It's good to go to a Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever convention there is, and to see like-minded people. And that's what's great about cosplayers. I've got much respect for cosplayers who dress. There's a guy I've seen on Instagram, good looking guy for Aquaman, got the whole look down to a T, and he gets out of a van with all the costumes. And then when you see these people dressed up in the costumes, from the Justice League, I went, yeah, they liked it that much that they're dressing up. People still dress up as Harley Quinn, and and David Ayer, I think I seen a post, I didn't bother reading that. He's actually doesn't blame Warner Brothers for the film and stuff. I don't know. So that slowly sort of brings us to the Justice League, right? So the top guy, he gets involved. Zack's, and then he brings Joss Whedon, and I know a lot of people hating on Joss Whedon, but I've been told that he actually tweets negative stuff about his own movies as well. But he was asked to come in and sort of change this film to to try and blend into this other population. Now there is a petition going round, okay, asking for the Snyder Cut. But see the amount of people that have signed that, yeah, it's probably impressive, but it's not the world, okay? It's probably the same amount of people that live in Britain or one part of America. It's not big, it's still a small fraction. There are people out there that, the bigger percentage of people probably didn't like the Snyder sort of version of the film. So it split the fans. And there's been always this talk about a reboot. Hence the name of the video. And will DC reboot it? And I'm no expert. Right? I know nothing about the background. I've got no inside scoop. I just listen to my own common sense and try and put my common sense out there onto the page or out there on YouTube. And my personal belief is they'll be off their heads to reboot it. Now, Zack Snyder, as you know, has been hurt through this whole process, through to the dealings and the unprotection of what Christopher Nolan used to give him from Man of Steel, and he's been doing it alone and dealing with these executives. He's now gone off to help with Wonder Woman, and people are asking, will we get him to direct Man of Steel, and will we get him to direct Justice League? And I want you to try and see it from all different angles and try and put your own needs to the side, your own wants and stuff, and be Zack Snyder for a minute. Okay? See the world and see the way he's been treated. Now Ben Affleck, he has said he's taking a break. Not he doesn't want to play it at all. He just says he's taking a break. That means he's probably fed up as well with all the dealings and all the going behind scenes of the previous films that he thoroughly believed in and he could see the future. Now most people that have worked with Zack Snyder has totally loved his passion behind the comics, and every one of them will go behind Zack Snyder and defend him to the hilt because he has this passion about these characters. Not everyone, mind you, going through the reports, felt that way about Joss Whedon. So when we have Ben Affleck going, I need to take a break, he's probably hunting for his pal, and the way his film, being a filmmaker, has thought so, but he'll probably put it back on because it's his kids that help put that costume back on this film director, and that's what he is. He's a film director stroke actor. And he's probably got other projects, but he'll put that kill back on, but right now he's just done talking about it, he's seen what's happened behind the scenes. So when we talk about rebooting, will we reboot the DCU? No. That is and why do I say that? Well, take a look at Justice League. They changed the format, they changed the way it was done with the lightheartedness. Yes, of course, it wasn't a smooth sailing from one sort of vision to the next. Okay, I think maybe if Zack Snyder got to finish his film, it would have transcended from BVS to something to what Justice League ended up as. But it would have been a much slower pace. Now, of course, Joss Whedon was asked to edit this film for 2 hours, so he's not entirely to blame for this. It's only the one guy up the top. Right, try and forget about blaming Joss Whedon. He's just doing what he's told. He's just a paid director who is owned by the executives, same as Zack Snyder. They don't have the same level of power as people like George Lucas, James Cameron. Even though James Cameron totally respects Zack Snyder and sees him as a great filmographer, same as Christopher Nolan. Right, they all respect Zack, but in Warner Brothers' eyes, they're not these directors and whatnot, they really, when they start demanding, they get it, because they've made these films that got loads of money. Patty Jenkins, if she makes another great film, critical appraisal, now here's another thing, Wonder Woman didn't make as much money as probably thought, even though it was a critical success. Films that you find that get critical appraisal still don't make all that much money. And sometimes the ones that don't get critical appraisal, they're skyrocketing up, and that's why you get loads of films like Transformers and stuff. Now, Justice League, that's already hit 5 million. Now, you might think, oh, that's tiny compared to Avengers and stuff, but again, it's coming off the backboard of negativity, so for me, it's doing great. It came against negativity from critics, it's came across stuff with fans and whatnot, it's unfinished, it's a mashup, so they know, Warner Brothers know that they've got this franchise, if handled correctly, it would be brilliant. Now, there's some talks about WB being DC films being in total charge. Now, I'm not exactly too sure who's in charge of the DC films. If I was to take a guess, it'd be Zack Snyder and Jeff Johns, his wife, and Bert something, or whatever, or Charles Nolan or whatever. So there are people, and I would say they had something to do with DC films. So to reboot it now, Henry Cavill has said he would play Superman. He's contracted for one more film. But the way I've seen him portray himself in any interview or any cast, he's always came out positive about being the character, and he's got that kind of British upper lip thing about him, and he's always careful in what he says, and I believe he has this sort of faith in his character, that he would play it till a long time, and he's probably still young enough. And of course, if the right script comes along, so and people love Henry Cavill as Superman. People now, I would like to think the majority of people are now came on with Ben Affleck as Batman. Those still say, "Oh, I hate them and whatnot. It doesn't do anything for me. Get me Christian Bale, whatnot." But to get another actor in, no. And again, what I said earlier, Ben Affleck with his kids, he'll put that kill warm. And even if he does get changed, even if they feel like they need to change the, Batman, then they will. But what they'll do, anyway, I'll get back to that. If they change the Batman, then you got Flash and Cyborg, still two young guys, and Gal Gadot, who's had the success with Wonder Woman. They're not going to jeopardise by putting more actors and actresses in. And the one thing that Zack Snyder has done, and this is why you could get maybe a change of Batman or whatnot, is he's created the DCEU. He's given the DCEU, or Warner Brothers, whatever, a flavour of film. He's brought these characters to life. He's given them a world and an idea how magic exists and how gods can exist, like Zeus and stuff. How Shazam may be existing. He's going back to help Wonder Woman, so he has got this still creative control. Would we want him direct? No. Not because it's bad or anything like that, but for himself. If I was, it would have to be some sort of big movement from WB to say, Zack, you are now God of the universe you created. We will not interfere ever again with your film. It would have to be something like that, but for total control. But for me, for him being a filmmaker, he's probably got his eyes on other films he wants to do, but still be heavily involved with the DCU. And I think when it comes to the films that come out, his name should be up there along with the creator or something like that, or a film by or based on Zack Snyder's DCEU or something. He should be credited as something like that, because and his name should be associated with every DCEU movie. because it's thanks to him that it started. But to reboot the whole franchise, to replace all the actors and actresses all once, and then to somehow demolish the universe that Zack has made believable. No, we have Aquaman coming out, Shazam coming out. And as I say, they'll be using Henry Cavill as Superman in the DCE, as maybe a part in that. We have Jason Momoa, Aquaman in that. We have Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman 2 coming out. And all of that, no matter how much Zack Snyder's involved or little he's involved, it's still the universe he created. So there's no way that a reboot is called. A film has to fail. And right now, none of the films has failed. And none of them you can call a flop. Maybe not made the money that maybe executives or fans think that the film should make. But for me, a flop is a film that earns less than what the film done to make the film. If a film costs 300 million or whatever, well, right now it's up to 500 million, so if it's made at 300 million, then it's in profit. So it's not a failure, it's not a flop. It's especially coming out against these two, the backlash from the previous ones. And as I say, just remember, Zack Snyder fans, as I say, because I am a fan too, but I must say, a DCU fan first and foremost. And I would say a supporter. I said this in my other YouTube videos. I am a supporter of the DCU and a fan of Zack Snyder. I want the best for the DCU. And if that means having to put up with films that are now turning into tongue-in-cheek and everything, but the majority of the world embraces it. That's what I want. That is what I want. I don't want any more. We are the small minority that love this certain direction. Or it's copying Marvel or what? That's because there is so many fractions. I'm still in my Justice League, by the way, band that I got from the cinema. Never taken it off. I'm sick of all these wee divides. And maybe that's the worst thing that's came from Man of Steel, is it's given DC fans a divide from people that love his vision, people that hate it, people that hate the Marvel films, people that think that DC is copying Marvel, and they're all different fractions of fans, and we've just got to be fans of comic book movies in general. I'm wrong to say that because I don't like Marvel films. Not only because I'm not interested in the characters, but if they were to make films similar to Marvel films, I'd probably enjoy them more because it's just the characters I'm into. That's it. That's the bottom line. I'm into that universe. But I can't see them going all the way Marvel. Because of the universe that they live in, it would be impossible. As I say, somebody asked me, which is what was your least favourite bit in Justice League? And I thought hard and long about it, and only had one wee bit, the wee smile on Superman's face. I thought he's too happy being up Steppenwolf, but that could be a pride thing, that he's back and he's happy about life in general. But it's just a film. It's meant to entertain. So no, there's no reboot needed. I will try and get past the pain and probably feel better once the DVD comes out and feel that, yeah, and as I say, there's people in Brazil and Argentina and people all over the world that are still going to see this and will still be buying a DVD, and when it comes out in DVD it will be a best seller. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. Sorry to take up too much of your time, but you could have watched me in parts. Part 1, William says. But I'd rather not make videos of 5 minutes or 6 minutes. I'd rather just open my heart, and hopefully you guys will open your heart as your comments below. Please like, subscribe, check out my chat, check out my page if you can. Go to the website, probably best would be Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope, www. You'll get there because I'm keeping the web address, but the name of the page will be changing pretty soon again, from DC Fans Unite to probably DC Fan Gives Hope. A lot of people appreciated the original name, which was nice. So thanks very much. Let's stay positive out there.